So we're joined with a very special guest this morning, and it's none other than winger, striker Ahkeem Rose, who is currently plying his trade in Scotland. Ahkeem, what go on? All is well?
Yeah, man, I'm there, man. Everything all right.
Nice, nice. Good to hear from you, man. First thing first, tell us about the background. Where in the island were you born, where you grew up, and all of that.
So, born Kingston Public Hospital. Grew up in a small area called Standpipe. Most people don't know it. Then um, dad moved to England, I think 2000, so 2 years after I was born. And then I came to England in 2013, so 10 years now. So yeah, so I've been away for a while.
Yeah, because your journey is different from like the average Jamaican, that would like maybe play club football on the island and then go abroad. But you said 2013 you left Jamaica. So which primary school you went? Did you go to high school in Jamaica? What was
Uh,
that?
I went to Mona Primary, and then I went to a school called St. Andrew College, just by Crossroad. I think them changed the name now. I don't remember the name now, but I think them changed the name. So yeah, I went there, and then I think I play Pepsi and Coles, and then I come to England. I never get to play Manning Cup.
All right, cool. So like you said, 2013 you left Jamaica. Is it that, your dad said, come to England, there's an opportunity, or he was working and you wanted to join him? How did that pan out?
Obviously, as we would know, like me growing up, me always want to play football. Like when me and my friend them used to go play with box and them things there. So growing up in Jamaica, I always wanted to be a footballer. So my dad coming to England when I was younger was basically perfect for me. Never really have a choice, but me never turned down the opportunity when my dad offered me to come live with him, and it's a better opportunity, Jamaica is kind of hard, so coming to England was definitely, I would say, a good choice.
And tell me about, where you settled, because I think it was in the Midlands. I don't know if it was Birmingham or Sandwell, but somewhere in the Midlands you settled. What
Yeah,
was that new
yes,
environment like for you? The cold, the people, everything.
yeah. So the first 2 years living here, me hate it. Want to go back, want to go back to Jamaica. Um, so me that must when I come up here, I start play, like them call it Sunday League. So we have like a league. I think I already about 14. So I start play Sunday League. Just run like look community Sunday League. Play that, score a heap of goal, and then I get a trial at Warsaw Football Club, and them they in a League One at the time. Get a trial there. Never did get in. So then I end up say, you know what, I go college. Cause I think me 17 at that time. Then in England, when you either you're 17, 18, say them time they have to buckle down to try get a professional contract. So whenever you get in a war, so in the summer, so I say, I go college. I'm go college for about 2 week, and 2 week in my course, I do a sports scientist course. And 2 week in my course, I get a call from my agent, say the manager from Walsall who didn't want me, even go to a club called Grimsby, and them want take me for a trial game, and then I go play the trial game, score 2 goal, and then them just say them want see me more, so them invite me for a 2 week trial in a Grimsby. So Grimsby about 3 hours or 2.5 hours from Birmingham, so me have to go up there and then put me up in a house, different environment. Never actually been away from home apart from when obviously me left Jamaica, I left my mother and most of my family them, but yeah, different environment, different food, and them things there. So it different, but me, adapt to my surroundings. So it all right, and obviously the trial go well. So me the player, I think I played 3 games, score 5 goal, and me the think me start gain a bit of interest from other clubs who made a play against. So Grimsby end up offer me a contract before the club them can give me a contract. So They forgive me a decision after Christmas, but them give me the decision before Christmas, which is a good Christmas gift. And yeah, never look back from then.
And tell me that emotion when you Grimsby sit you down and you have a professional contract in your hands, not playing in the National League, but in League Two, the professional leagues, that feeling, that emotion, everything.
Well, remember it was a Friday man, remember it, and the manager called me in my office and me that thing say, Maga say, nah, give me a contract or something like so. But him give me like a sad story at the start, and me I say, oh, nah, give me a contract. But then him dropped it and him say, we I got offer you a 18-month contract because of I think a 2016 December. So you take me through the season and then another year. So them give me an 18-month contract. But unfortunately, I couldn't sign the contract because my dad messed up my work permit. Yeah, yeah. So for the rest of the 6 months, me did it, me da play under 18s and me da train with the first team on Mondays and stuff like that. And then I had to go to a tribunal. So I think I missed the 17-18 season. I couldn't get paid. So yeah, I couldn't get paid. I was just living in Grimsby. I couldn't play any games because obviously I don't have my work permit. The only games I could play in was like a behind closed door friendlies, and you don't get them very often. You would get the reserve games, but I couldn't play in the reserve games either. So I missed the whole of the season, and then the manager who gave me my contract, he got sacked. Then we got another manager, and he didn't know nothing about me. So when he came in, he just like pushed me aside and said like, you can just. So I did running for about 10 months with the physio. My mate Jamil Matt, he will tell you Jammer was there at that time when I couldn't play. So Jammer seen it all. Like I just got brushed aside to the a manager who didn't know me, and I just did running for 10 months. I would come into training knowing I was just gonna run. I wouldn't train with the first team. Players would come in on trial and they would train with the first team. I would just be running with the physio. So I did that for 10 months. That manager ended up getting sacked. So I've been through about 3 managers before I actually made my debut for Grimsby. And then the new manager came in. I went to the tribunal. Grimsby paid for it and everything. And I'm always grateful for them. And I ended up getting my work permit after 10 months after waiting. And then the new manager, who's never seen me play, just seen me in training, ended up offering me a 2-year deal. So it was a plot twist in the end, but it was worth the wait. It was probably the most difficult period, I would say, of my career so far. Anyways.
Tell me about the amount of patience that you had, 10 months, that level of patience that you had to build up to where you are today, as a professional, to be able to have that, mindset that you're still going to work hard, you're still going to put in the work, and your opportunity will come.
I definitely think you have a different certain mindset for deal with what me that deal with. I'm not gonna sit here and say be positive every day because you have your good days and you have your bad days. So sometimes when I couldn't really get up to speed in terms of like, may I do this again? May I talk to me, may I call my mother, and my mother would have said, look, you do 2-3 months already. You just have probably 4 or 5 months left now. So my mother they always just try to keep me positive. And the coaches, the youth team coach at the time who would he bring me up to Grimsby, him always I say, look, like you have the talent, but just want you get the papers and then you can play, and we get it at the end, and then it was good. But I would say like that was it was difficult. It was difficult just seeing the boys going out playing every week, and I'm just in the stands watching them for 10 months. It was tough.
I can imagine. But the moment you could able to say that you make your debut for the club, you're coming onto the pitch. Tell me about that moment, what it was like. The fans, did they gravitate towards you? What was Grimsby like eventually when you started playing?
The fans waited so long because they've watched me in the youth team days, so they know what I'm about. But I think it was just a relief for everyone that knowing that Ahkeem Rose can play for Grimsby after so long. Because like I said, I got my contract in 2016. I didn't sign it until 2018. So that's almost 2 years. So they've been waiting. And I think my first game I came on against Rochdale in the Carabao Cup, I think. And it was just a relief. Like I'm finally made my debut after so long. But it was good. Me and the fans got on. But I had a torrid time there in terms of like injuries and stuff like that. So I would say like that's maybe my downfall in terms of like being at Grimsby was just I was mainly injured, which I'm not happy with. But that's how it goes. It's just football.
And tell me what it was like being around Jama as well. You know, I know he was at Grimsby at the time with you, but went on to Newport and Forest Green and now Walsall. What was he like,
Yeah,
training, being around, you know?
Jama is a big brother to me. Jama look after me, man. Like in the seat, and Jama went through a similar situation when he was younger as well. So Jama is probably the only one that kind of understand when me that go through. So him always help me. Me and Jama still speak up to this day. Me and Jama still speak. But yeah, like in training and stuff, yeah, look up to Jama, like see how, because he's a striker as well. So I always see how me can replicate my game off a Jama game, although him bigger than me, but as a striker, you always look on other strikers and see, oh, you can make a game better. But yeah, man, Jama is a good dude, man, good man.
Nice. And for you, you had experience playing in Dover and etc. But Scotland now, a brand new opportunity. How did that come about to be able to play north of the border?
So that's last year now. I finally get a good season, get a good run. I'm always say once we get an injury-free season, people are gonna see what we can do. And last year I play 44 games, start 40 of them, scored 20 goal. So that happened, and then we did have a few interests in England, but it never really make sense at the time. But then one agent said, look, like might have an opportunity for you to go to Scotland. But I have a young family, so I didn't want to leave my daughter at the time. So I said to him, I'm not interested. This was back in May. I said, I'm not interested. But then they kept on him on saying like, oh, is he gonna come, stuff and such and such. And then I just weighed up all the pros and cons, and when I actually spoke to the club, Air United, they made me feel like I'm actually gonna come there and be the main guy, play every week, and they just made me feel welcome. Like, with the other clubs, it was like, oh, he's gonna be part of the squad. It didn't reassure me. Not that you need a reassurance, because everyone has to work for their spot, but Air United just made me feel like I was gonna be the guy going forward. So it was an easy decision in the end.
Nice. And the experience, Scotland and England, the things that were the differences, more colder, because I've been to Glasgow and that's for me one of the coldest places I've ever been. The experience,
Um,
the language, because it's a different accent, they talk faster, how you
yeah.
manage and all of that.
The first month, I think every time them say something, say, what did you say? So I get to grips of it now. Still catching up, but the level and it different, more physical than England. But I say England more technical in terms of football playing and stuff. But Scotland is a physical league. Look and run for your ball. Somebody just elbow you. So it kind of different. May I get to grips of it now. Play a few games, score a few goals now. So definitely like getting up to speed, I would say.
Yeah, and you have some players in your squad that have played at the highest level as well, like McGeady, Aidan McGeady. What is he like in the dressing room, on the field, training, and all of that?
You know what? When they say the pros, like how you see the players who plays in the Premier League, you see the levels. Like in training, he's injured at the minute, but like I think my first day, like in training, I was just like, that's the level you need to be. And he's 37, so imagine when he was younger, like, so. But nah, Geeds he's a top pro man. Like he does it right. A lot to learn from him. Like after training, I always pull him aside, say, "He's like, can let's do some finishing drills," because you know he's also got the technical director role at United, so he does a lot of things with the young boys, and he does a lot of things with me as well personally. So now he's a good role model to have in the changing room as well.
Nice, really, really nice. And for you, I mean, you look at where United are on the table, mid-table. It's early days, but you know, how are you? You could say settling into your new environment, the club, the system, and everything.
Like I said, different. I think we've signed about 12 players this season, so so kind of a new team. A few of the players have left. And a few we've been unfortunate with injuries and stuff. Two of us centre mid who's been at the club for a while now. Both of them had knee surgery this season, so we've got a lot of new players. You know, I think it was 2 weeks ago we had a game where we beat a team 5-2, and everything just clicked that game. So I think we just need to keep replicating what we did the other week. Obviously we lost on the weekend, but it wasn't a nothing game. It was just like whoever get a goal first, then they would probably go on and do it. And we had like a bad spell, but I think definitely the team we've got right now on paper, we should be in the playoffs minimum.
And for those on the island that haven't had a chance to see you play, how would you describe yourself? Pacey, rapid, trickery? How would you describe yourself as a player?
I'm a bit of everything, you know. I think when I was a bit younger, I would just say pace, but growing up, like I said, I've had about 8 hamstring injuries, so I've learned to I learned my body. I know my body now, if that makes sense. So I'm a bit of I can run in behind. I'm still quick. I can run in behind. I can hold it up. I can do a trick if you want. So I would say I'm a bit of everything. Playing. I think I got called when I got called up for the 23s in 2019. I met a few of the boys out there, and they would have saw it as well. So I think I'm a bit of everything.
And what would it mean for you one day? Of course, you're 24 now. What would it mean for you one day to put on the black, green, and gold of Jamaica?
I think that would probably be the pinnacle for me, anyways. Growing up, just watching Ricardo Fuller, um, Camber Rice, all of them, like just that I think that would mean so much for my family, you know, just playing for Jamaica. Like everyone always said, "Oh, would you play for England?" I said, "No, not a chance." Like they said, "Really?" I said, "No." I didn't grow up saying I wanted to be Ian Wright or like no disrespect to them legends, but I growing up watching Ricardo Fuller, Rowan Nelson. He's from Standpipe as well, so we haven't had anyone from Standpipe playing for the national team. I think the closest we've got was, I don't know if you know him, Chevron Stewart, and Scarra's. I think he's in the US now, so it would be good for my community to have one of their own playing for Jamaica.
Yeah, it'll be certainly a nice one.